So we are ready now to log in as with our administration account, which is root. It's going to ask you for the password. Okay, so we are now ready to install the first component of our LAMP server. By the way, LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL and PHP, and these are the components we're going to install on this server. So the first one is to install the Apache web server. We can do so by using this command. The Apache web server is now installed, so we need to start the service. We also need to make sure that Apache starts every time we boot the system. You can do so by issuing this command. Okay, so this command is going to make sure it starts every time you boot your system, and this command is used to verify that the previous command actually worked. The next step is to test if Apache actually works on the server. What we need to do is go to our desktop client and open up a web browser and put in the IP address of our server into the web address bar. For this to work, we need to turn off the system firewall. Okay, this command is going to open up this window. As you can see, the firewall is enabled. We need to set the option to disabled. So if you press the tab key, it's going to go with disabled, and hit the space bar to select, and tab again to OK, and select space bar. Now the firewall is off. Now what you need to find out first is your IP address. You can do so by issuing this command, and this is the IP address assigned to the server. So if we put this IP address into the address bar of the client machine web browser, we should get the Apache test page. This verifies that Apache is working correctly. The next component we need to install on our server is the MySQL database. So it's very similar to the Apache installation, yum -y install MySQL -server, and this will begin the installation process. As you can see, the installation of MySQL is now complete. So I'm going to start the MySQL service just like we did for Apache. And we're going to ensure that also MySQL starts every time we boot our system. So now we can log into MySQL and notice that the prompt changes to MySQL. At the moment there's only one user called root, and we need to set a password for this user just to secure the system. Using this command, the set password command, will set the password root for the user root or localhost. It is recommended that you use a stronger password than root. Okay, so this means the command's executed successfully. If you hit Ctrl+C on your keyboard, this will bring you out of SQL. You can clear your window, and now we log in using our password, and we need to do the following: mysql minus root, and you're prompted for the password, and we're back to MySQL. So now that we have MySQL installed on the system and secured with a password, we need to create a database, because Drupal needs a database to run all the files from. So this command is going to create a database called Drupal DB, and you can verify this by using this command. Okay, so now here you see the database, which is still empty, but it's still a database created on the system. Okay, now that the database is created, we're going to grant the user some permissions. At the moment on the system there's only one user, root, and within MySQL there's only one user, also called root. So we're going to grant a select permission, insert, update, delete, and so on to root, identified by this password. Okay, so far we have installed the CentOS operating system, we've installed Apache Web Server and MySQL. Now the final component of the LAMP server is PHP, and we need to also install this.